Dachsbun got a very interesting move update this season with the new fast move of Fire Fang on this Pokemon. This seems a bit interesting because you're going to have a fairy type Pokemon with a fire type fast move now instead of Charm, which would be a stab move. And does it work out? Let's see. There's an idea behind this one. There is definitely an idea behind this one because what you have here is an interesting, Pokemon as a Say-Sop and Pokemon that can bait out anti-Pokemon for like the fairy types. For example, here Poison, which is still going to have then neutral fast move damage as well as the Psychic Fang still cover. But also you're going to have here, of course, access to the Fire Fang against those Steel type Pokemon, which we are going to be able to here see already in the first battle. Being able to align ourselves against it is going to be fantastic. And now we can reach out for one Psychic Fangs against the opponent's Blastoise. Going to be able to get the defense drop onto them straight away as we have another charge move going through against the opponent. And now with that, we are going to be able to just let the move go. It is going to be a charge move going through. It is going to be the Hydro Cannon, and in comes now our Jellicent, which would be good against the other Pokemon, but now we can align our Wigglytuff against the opponent's Mangano, and this is going to be game after getting kinda in a bit of a tougher matchup in the beginning. Can we do the same again? Horrible lead for us. We swap out into our Fairy type, but they this time around decide to stay in because I don't have the right fast move basically. If I had Charm, I would have been in a way better spot at this point already because Charm is stab, so Charm is going to do a little bit more damage. But we're going to get out the Crilli. Crilli is my arch nemesis with this team. Crilli is a Pokemon that you cannot deal with, and honestly, I didn't think about it until literally this second. I actually suggested this team here if you wanted to run the Fire Fang version of the of the Dachsbun. I want to have Clefable in the back. This is what I suggested, and I decided to go against what I suggested and went for the Wigglytuff because it's going to be better against Ghost type Pokemon, which are a weakness to our lead. But now I actually realized that if you would have Clefable, you wouldn't have the weakness against Crilli as much because you would have access to the move Media Mesh, which is doing super effective damage and quite a lot of that. And so maybe Clefable would have been actually the better Pokemon to go for here. But I'm not sure. We're going to see no Blasters against us. We're going to be able to catch or go into our Jellicent. In comes here the Sableye, as this is going to be a CMP tie. We are going to be able to take the hit. It's going to be the foul play. It's not going to knock us out. But we have to be a bit mindful because while this is going to be able to get the shield from the opponent, we are in a position where we have to hope that we can go for the full farm down first. But as you're going to see, the opponent still gets to move. I should be able to take the hit. And they just went for a charge move, so there is no way they get to another move. And we're actually going to do this here. While, yes, we got kind of walled, it actually looked a little bit better for us in the beginning. Next up, we're going to have Totara here. Totara is going to be a Pokemon that we can generally deal with. It's okay for us. We have actually super effective coverage with our backline here, and so I kind of want to take advantage of that by swapping out into my Dachsbun, which does now super effective fast move damage against the opponent. We still have Icy Wind on our Wigglytuff, which is going to do some super effective damage. But also, here we're going to get out the Bastion, which is not that bad for us. It's not the greatest, don't get me wrong, but at least our fast move is now neutral instead of resisted. It also regenerate energy a bit faster, which is going to force them here eventually to at least go for a charge move, which is going to be fine. Psychic Fang's coming through. We're going to have, the Jellicent coming in as well. And as we will see, Stone Edge is going to allow us to still survive at least. We have the Togekiss coming in, and we can go for a charge move ourselves. This Shadow Ball would do a lot of damage. They decide to use a shield, and now I'm in a bit of an awkward spot. While I can still go for a Shadow Ball, it is not going to be enough to knock them out, and my answer to Bastion is going to be gone with this, and that makes things just so much more complicated and so much more difficult that here we're going to let the move go. We have to still hope that somehow I'm going to be able to win with, I guess, my Dachsbun in this battle, but it's going to be a bit tough as the Arceus is coming in. We know about here this Pokemon, about the Bastion, we know about Totara. The Totara we can actually knock out, but now it's going to be such a close battle. Can we still win with our Dachsbun against this Pokemon here, against this big wall? We can still go for another charge move, and that is actually quite crucial because now Charm even going to do more damage, and we're going to get the opponent quite low. And I know I get at least 3 Charms through, and with it, we are guaranteed now to win this battle, which is hilarious. I need 2 more fast moves to get to the next move, and I can get 2 fast moves in guaranteed, and this will allow us to win this, even though it was such a tough battle for us. Such a tough battle is this going to be for the Blastoise, because Blastoise is getting kind of completely hardwalled by the Jellicent. Jellicent resists every single hit that the Blastoise would be able to learn. Like literally, there's not a single coverage move that this Pokemon has currently, as far as I know at least, that would hit us for neutral damage. And so everything is resisted other than, of course, the fast move, if you would consider that. But I can just take the hits. Like, I don't really care too much about that too much. And I can now knock them out in hindsight. Of course, I should have got a little bit more energy here now. But it's fine. We have Crilli, my Nemesis. It is a bag. I will be able to take a hit here, though. So there's no real point of shielding this move up. I should be able to now go for my player off against the opponents. Yeah, it's called Gastrodon here. That's fine. This is gonna be enough to get them low, and let's see what's going to be happening next. We have the Psychic Fangs coming through from our side. This is perfect. This is going to get the shield from the opponent, and now we have to be have a bit of a tough choice here. I kind of am forced to, I guess, hope that I'm just going to be able to win this with a Wigglytuff. As we're going to try to go for the full farm down, they're still of course going to reach another move, but we're going to use a shield here because it's a very, very likely going to be a very hard hitting move in the Earth Power, which is, by the way, a move that is currently more often used on the Gastrodon than the Water Pulse, which is something we haven't really seen previously. Before, Water Pulse was by far the most common move that we are seeing there, but now yeah, it's a little bit different, and that's quite interesting. As we're gonna now move on to the next Icy Wind, which is going to allow us to get them not to the KO, but we're gonna get them low enough that we are going to be able to definitely win this battle here, as they're gonna go down to one more charm. Wigglytuff is going to be able to win this battle for us. So we're going to have the Lickilicky against us now, and this is going to be interesting, as now we're going to be able to, yeah, just let this move go. This is going to be the Shadow Ball. It's going to do a little bit more damage, and yeah, I try to do my best to get to the move. Of course, Shadow Ball was actually a smart play. Shadow Ball does quite a bit more damage than the Body Slam does. Now we have to shield up a Body Slam, so that is a bit more awkward. As you're going to see here as well, we are going to be able to still get them low, and we can still get to another Psychic Fangs, which is amazing, because like this, we are going to be able to now get the KO against them and have with that alignment, which is key against the Pokemon like Sableye here, which of course still gets some solid energy against us, but we can go ahead and go into our Wigglytuff, take a hit here as well. We have only one shield left. We kind of have to be a bit mindful on when we shield and they swap out into the Gourgeist, and I don't really have the best answer here. I decided to use a shield. I decided to just go for the Icy Wind to try to drop them down a bit, but as you're gonna see, there is going to be the Ice Wind coming through. We're gonna get the debuff. I can go to my Jellicent, but it's still not going to be a very good matchup for us. It's just not going to be a good matchup. And as we will see, they're gonna go for the Shadow Ball, doing some solid damage. And as we have here as well now, they're gonna go back to the Sableye, and we can go for the double Surf, which should be enough to knock them out. Or it's going to be at least very close, but I do think that they're very likely going to be able to go for another move against my Wigglytuff here. But it's going to be close. I can swap out of here. I try to do my best with the fast moves, but it's not going to be enough. Not enough damage here at all. And we will see here that there is going to be now the Jellicent trying its best, and it's sadly not going to be able to win. Literally just a little bit more, but yeah, it is what it is. We're going to swap out here now into the Dachsbun against the Hydreigon lead. Hydreigon lead, horrible for me, but I have two good Pokemon in the back for that. And it's kind of funny, because we were able to just go ahead and yeah, take down the opponent's next Pokemon here. We are going to be able to take down the Marowak, and with that, we have alignment. And with that, we're going to have the Hydreigon against our Charmer. That's at least what I thought. But I decided to not use a shield here, and I'm curious on why I did this. Actually, it worked out really well, because now I know that I have zero play with the Jellicent in this matchup. Like, Jellicent literally doesn't have any play whatsoever. And I'm just curious on how this is going to work out now, as this Icy Wind is going to get the drop onto them. We're going to try our best to go for the full farm down, but as we will see, this is going to be a Beak Blast now, dropping our attack. We are now shields down, but we can go for the Icy Wind straight away against the Hydreigon, which is allowing us to maybe even survive a hit, which would be amazing. So let's see on how this is going to go. We're going to get the drop onto them, of course, guaranteed, and look at the charm damage. While we are debuffed from the Beak Blast, we're actually in a very solid position, as you're going to have now the Hydreigon coming in with, yeah, basically next to no health. A Shadow Ball is going to be easily enough against a squishy Pokemon like this, and we can move on to the next opponent, where we are going to see here the yeah, Tentacruel. We're going to be able to go for the Shadow Ball, and let's see on how the things are going to go. We're going to have the Shadow Ball coming in. This is going to do a lot of damage. Yeah, this is going to be now the Acid Spray coming in as well, and we're going to try our best to go for a Surf in order to knock them out here. Hopefully, let's see on how things are going to go. There's going to be now the Charge Move coming through, and we're going to have the Crilli coming in. Crilli, a lot of times recently here as well, apparently, is running the move of, yeah, Bullet Seed for whatever reason. They're not running Acid anymore. I don't know if it's something that just happens here or like if it's something that is generally something that you can see as well in your gameplay. But I feel like Crilli a lot of times had Bullet Seed over Acid, and I wonder why this is the case. Is there a reason for that I don't know? Let me know down below. I guess it's better against the Jellicent matchup. That's kind of a big matchup. I think that's going to be coming up now this season as well. It might be a little bit better against like CDO as well. There are quite a lot of Pokemon where you want to have faster energy against. I guess that's where Crilli is most likely going to be a little bit better with a Bullet Seed. That's kind of interesting. I never really thought about it, but it makes a lot of sense. As here, we have the Rock Tomb coming in. We have the Icy Wind hopefully now going to knock them out soon as well. And this is going to be now enough to hopefully get the shield. But can we still take the hit? Can we still get to another move? It's going to be close. We still survive, but they stop out into the Talonflame, allowing me to knock them out here. But they're very likely just going to be able to farm me down with their own Pokemon. If I let the fast move go through there, I will say Slow Wolf survived it, and the opponent would have not gotten a move. Would have still survived the hit? I don't think so. So I don't think I would have had a chance of winning this battle. And so this is going to be it for this one. They're going to be able to still barely knock me out here. But so far, I only had in the beginning the one time the matchup where I actually was able to bait out a Steel-type Pokemon so far with my Dachsbun. That's kind of unfortunate. We're going to have here also quite unfortunate matchup for the opponent so far. We are kind of walling them. As they're going to go for the close combat, we are going to be able to, you know, go ahead and go for the Icy Wind spam against the opponent's Talonflame. That is going to be alright. This is going to be enough to get the debuff onto them. And this is hopefully not enough to knock us out, because we have still enough energy to maybe even go for another Icy Wind in time. And as I go for the Flame Charge, I am going to be able to still go for the Icy Wind. This was quite a bit risky. Should have went for the Swift most likely. But Icy Wind is going to get the shield from the opponent. And in comes now the Superior. And while we didn't get a Steel type against us, we have here a very good matchup that is allowing us to just play this one out a bit better. As we have here the Superior, we're going to be able to go for the Play Rough against the opponent. This is going to be enough to get the shield from them, and we try our best to go for the full farm down here as well, as we can shield this move up. We should be able to maybe go for the full farm down still. It's going to be close. I can go for the Psychic Fangs, knocking them out with that. Superior is going to go down with that, and this is going to be perfect. Never mind, they're swapped out into the Talonflame. They can still reach on their move, and I'm fairly certain Superior still has a move start as well. And this is going to make it all very awkward, because they're forced to go for their move straight away, which they do, but who's going to be able to win this battle? Can we still Fire Fang them down? It's going to be super close. They played it basically perfect, but Dachsbun is going to come in clutch here. Next opponent is actually Weedle. Good friend there. Very, very good player. Also, I think they hit number 3 or number 4 recently in the regional. I'm fairly certain. So, yeah, shout out to you there as well. A very fun battle here. And this is kind of showcasing the downside of Dachsbun, I guess. Because Dachsbun with Fire Fang, it just is not a move that would generate energy faster. You would get to your other move faster either. Here, like, I kind of was forced to use a shield in order to keep alignment, because I want to have alignment against the Scissor, as I was expecting a Pokemon in the back that I wouldn't be able to deal with, and I wanted to have the Fire Fang there. But they're gonna go into the Altaria, and I decided to stay in for a bit, go for the Psychic Fangs in order to debuff them a bit, and then only stop out to try to do more damage against them. Don't know if this was the right choice. Maybe I should have just swapped out straight away. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter that much on what I did here. At this point, this just kind of forced them to use shields here. I should have went for the baits most likely. At this point, it was quite obvious that I'm going to go for the hard-hitting move. And they're even going to be able to snipe me here. I decided to let the move go. I feel like I should have actually shielded this move now in hindsight, because I either got the shield or I got the KO, and then still have to go for energy against me. I actually misplayed this one quite a bit. I didn't really realize it at all during the time. Usually I'm quite alright at realizing my own mistakes. But if I just shielded there with my Jellicent against the Scissor, I think I would have been in a way, way better spot against the Altaria here. And that is my own fault. I think I had a chance of winning this battle, even though I had... Yeah, okay, I didn't really have the worst lead either. Like, the opponent just played very well as well. Congratulations as well, Weedle. Great player though, like really, really good player. Here we have a great lead, and we have a swap that is alright for us, but we don't have a real answer towards it. I do think that, by the way, grass-type Pokemon are currently kind of cool in the meta. I think that a lot of Pokemon are kind of weak to grass typing, and so that is an interesting type here generally. But as you can see, there's going to be the Quagsano up against our Wigglytuff. We can take hits. We should be kind of fine. Hopefully, you can farm them down in time afterwards. As we will see here, the full farm down is going to happen now, and we're going to have the Talonflame coming in, where we can go for the Icy Wind now as well, which is perfect. This is going to be the drop against them as well, drop onto their attack. And we can now go ahead and go into our Jellicent. In comes the Superior. We can go for another charge move. This is alright for us. The Shadow Ball is coming through, and we can stop out into our Dachsbun to try to do more damage. And again, when we face up against the Grass-type Pokemon, where Fire Fang actually comes in clutch finally, and we can go for the full farm down to knock them out. And in comes now the Talonflame up from the opponent, and we are going to be able to just go ahead and go for those charge moves. We can just go ahead and go for even a shield here, I guess, as this is going to be a flame charge coming through. I'm going to try to use a shield here as well, because I still need to get the final. It's going to be a bit awkward. I think I kind of misplayed this one. I should have went for an extra fast move here. What am I doing? I actually kind of throw the battle here right now, and if they're going to win this, is absolutely down to me, but I actually still win this, luckily. Needed to throw the last battle. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then. Bye bye.